Okay. So the record is started, Charit. Can you just confirm it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I was talking about what is Git. So Git is a version control system that tracks the changes to the files. Okay. So whatever we are going to create, write a files. Okay. In the same file, if there is any changes, okay, it is going to be track it. So that we call it as a VCS, version control system. So the created by Linus Torvalds in the 2005, which is Linux same also. He is a person, he has created the Linux also and as well as the Git also. So he is the founder of both the platform. So the next point is allows multiple people to work on the same project. Okay, for example, if you are creating one folder, right? Okay, so you are the only one person can able to work on your local system, right? The same folder, if you keep it in the VCS or in the VCS control system, so multiple people can able to work it in the at a time. So what is the key features? Tracks the file history, see what change has been done. Local repositories like works offline, branching, work on the future independently, merging, combine the changes from the different branches, distributed everyone as a complete copy. So this is all the about of the Git. Next, let's move on to GitHub. So what is this GitHub? So GitHub is a cloud-based platform for hosting the Git repositories. So founded in 2008, now owned by the Microsoft. So home to millions of the open source project. So it is like a so now everyone they're using a GitHub, right? The URL or the portal, right? So that is managed by Microsoft only, and this is hosted on the cloud-based platform. So what is this difference between this Git and GitHub? Let's next slide I'm going to talk about. So why do we use this GitHub? So cloud backup of your code, easy collaboration with the teammates, share your work with the world, track the issues and project management, build your portfolio as a developer. So, so this is all about why we are going to use GitHub. So if you are talking about the difference, right? Git and GitHub. So Git is the software tool. Okay, it is kind of a agent tool and installed locally on our machines. So version control system track the file changes and free and open source, works offline and command line based. So if anybody asking if what is Git means, it is a small tool. It is a software tool for the Git. Okay. And will be used in the to communicate with our GitHub. So from the command line to our GitHub, we can able to communicate it. And what is GitHub? So I told you earlier, GitHub is a web platform services, cloud-based hosting, repository hosting, collaborations tool, free with the paid plans, requires internet, user-friendly interface. So this is what GitHub. The main thing is the GitHub hosted on the web platform or in the cloud-based and all the repositories hosting on the GitHub. So whatever you are creating in the Git, right? So all the repositories, branches, whatever you are creating, everything you can able to store it in the GitHub. So this is going to be saved in the locally if you are creating everything. But if you're moving to cloud, GitHub will take care of it. Okay.
Sir,
So that is a
once can you
difference.
repeat?
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry.
Once can you repeat?
Sure. Sure. So what is the difference between Git and GitHub? So Git is a software tool and it is kind of a agent tool. So example, if you wanted to give it Git means, for example, Google Chrome, right? So you are going to install it in the locally, right? In your local machine. Then you are going to use it. Same thing here also, Git also you are going to download it and it will be installed in the locally and you are going to use it. That is to one more option is command line based. Okay. So you need to open the terminal and you need to use it. Okay. So the main thing you need to remember it, Git is a software tool. It will be stored on the locally, and other than that, command line based. This is mandatory. Okay. So this is daily we are going to use it. And if you're compared to GitHub, so GitHub like a your AWS cloud, right? Or it can be a Azure cloud. Okay. So it is hosted on the web based, or in the it is hosted on the web. And so whatever you are creating in the Git, right? Okay, repositories, everything. So all the same thing we can able to do it in the GitHub also, like a branching, creating comments, okay, commits, okay, and merge, okay, future branch, all those things. Whatever you are doing, same thing you can able to do it here also, right? And this is a user-friendly interface. Okay. So to communicate with Git to GitHub, Git is mandatory. Okay. To store our data, yes, GitHub is mandatory. So we cannot save it in the locally, right? So that is why everything we are moving to GitHub. So without Git, GitHub it will not work. Without GitHub, your Git it will not work. You can say it. Okay. This too, it is mandatory in the DevOps. Any doubt?
No, sir. No, sir. Good.
Yeah. So the next one is slide is, so why we need to use a version control, right? So problem is without version control, file named, for example, I'm giving project.txt, project underscore v2.txt, project underscore final.txt. So this is difficult to track who made what changes, right? If you're able to see it, the same name it is there, but somebody has renamed to version to somebody has mentioned final. So to track it very tough, right? Difficulty to track who made the what changes, and are to revert to the previous version. Collaboration is chaotic. Okay. So the solution is with GitHub and GitHub. So clear the history of all the changes. Okay. And easy rollback if something breaks. Multiple people can work simultaneously. Professional workflow and best practices. Okay. So to come up of these use cases are the problem. So we need to use Git and GitHub, right? So here we can follow these four steps to resolve this problem. Got it right? So next moving to
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Git concepts, right? So what are the main in the Git concepts? So one is for repository. We call it as a repo, a directory that contains your project files and Git history. And commit, a snapshot of your code at a specific point in the time. So commit, branch, an independent line of the development like a parallel versions. So remote, a version of your repo hosted on the server, and push. Okay. So these are all the main Git concept you should know. At least these four things you should know it. Okay. What is repository, commits, branch, remote, push and pull. Okay. So these are all the repositories. It is not repositories. The concept you should know it. Next one is Git workflow. Okay. So how Git working works, right? So whenever you create any file, okay, you're going to edit the files, you're going to add the content, right? So this is you are going to modify the file. Once you modify the file, it will go to stage. Add the changes to the staging area. So next, it is moving to commit, right? So you are going to save the local changes to the local repo. So everything, whatever you are going to do it, it is on the local only. Okay. So if you're able to see the comments, git add, git commit, and git push. Okay. So these are all, it is working on the local only. So when you are pushing, this will go to your GitHub repo. So you got it right. This is workflow is very mandatory. So locally you are changing the files or updating and moving to stage, then you are committing. That's it, your work, right? Then you are going to push it. So we can able to see it. Later we are going to talk about these three things. So next one is daily workflow summary, right? So same thing, right? Make changes to your workflow. You are going to check the Git status, then add the changes to Git add that, and you are going to commit it using this command, and you are going to push to the GitHub using Git push. So this is a very mandatory daily users who all are working in the GitHub repository. They should know this very mandatory four commands. Without these four commands, you cannot work on with your GitHub or Git also. This is very mandatory, like how Terraform it is main command, right? Here also these four commands is very mandatory. So collaborating with others. So how to contribute? Okay. So if you wanted to contribute it to some other repository, so you need to clone the repositories, okay, and create the future branch, make the changes and commit it, and push your branches to GitHub. Okay. So the pull request, what they will do, it will propose to merge your changes into the main branch. Others can review your code, discuss the changes and make improvement, and merge when it is approved. Okay. So this is how uh, the future branch it will work. The next one is Git best practice, right? So commit the messages. Be clear and descriptive. Okay. So do not mention bad like update, right? So add login from the validation. So while committing, just make full sentence. Somebody should understand. Do not mention it update. Yes, we are going to update it. What you are going to done it. That you need to commit it properly. Commit frequency. Small logical commits are better than one use commit. Branching. Always work in the future branch, not directly in the main. So pull before the push. Git pull before git push to avoid the conflicts. So common beginner mistakes is committing without messages. Okay, that is the one common beginners. So any people, right, who all are learning new. So without committing the messages, they're doing. Forgetting to push it. So whatever they have done it, your local commits won't appear in the GitHub because you are not pushed it. Working directly in the main, always create the future branches to for new work. Large merge conflicts, merge frequently and communicate with the teammates. Okay, these are all the very four mistakes they are doing. So do not do it while doing in the live environment also. So the key takeaways is so Git tracks the changes to your code locally. GitHub hosts your repositories in the cloud. Basic workflow, modify, add, commit, push. Branches allow parallel development. Commits and create the history. You can revisit. Clear communication through commit messages. And start small. Practice regularly. Ask question. Okay. So this is all about the presentation of your Git and GitHub. Do you have any doubts? If nothing, I'll just move on to answer. If nothing, I'll just move on to practical.
Yes, sir, you can move on.
Sure. So what I'm trying to do, so I'm going to use one of Windows server. I'll just make it Git and GitHub. So the pre-requirement is, I'll tell you, create a GitHub account. I'll show it you how to create it. So this is the one is mandatory. Okay. So let me uh, create the one of the Windows server. So why we are using Windows Server? I'm not going to use it my local machine. Uh, you can just imagine this Windows Server like a my local machine only. I'll do it on everything in cloud only. But you can able to use it uh, your laptop becomes the Windows, right? Windows PC, we can able to use it for the creating, installing the Git and uh, Visual
Sir,
Studio
for
Code.
me, I think it's not needed to create an instance.
Yeah,
Go
you
and
do not need,
with,
but I need because I'm not going to use it my locally. So you are going to use it your local machine as a Git. So just install in your local machine. But I'm showing if somebody wanted to do it on Windows machine, their machine, right? First time, right? The same thing I'm going to show it you, like Git installation. Okay, those things I'm going to talk about, right? So Visual Studio Code, it is mandatory, right? So these are all you should install it in your local PC. Got it right, Charit?
yes, sir.
Any doubt?
No,
So why
sir.
I am using Git, the server means, so I'm not going to use it my local machine. Okay, I'm going to use it the server itself only. Okay, so both are same only. There is no issue. Okay, so you are using a Windows 10 or Windows 11. I'm just using the server edition. That's it. So all the commands, everything will be same, and I need to install it everything right. So my system will get slow. That is the reason I'm using cloud systems. There is nothing else. So now, if you wanted to create the GitHub account, right? Okay, just go to type it GitHub in the Google. You can select the first one. Next, what you can do. So there is a sign up, right? Okay, just do the sign up. So you can continue with Google. That's it. So no need to mention all these things because you are already having a Google account, right? Right. So continue with your Google account so that it will ask for the acceptance. Once you have created, you are able to see it. Okay. So this is a okay, it will by default it will take it your email ID and you can just make next. It will bring to here GitHub, right? This phase it will come. Let me see it. Let me use continue. Same thing, right? How I have done it, same thing you can continue. Okay. So this is my dashboard. Okay. So here in the right side you will see that all the your profiles, your repository details, setting. Okay. If you go inside the settings, you will see that all related settings. Like if you wanted to, I'm going to talk about later, like how do we use like SSH, okay? These things will later, but repositories, everything you can able to see it. How many repositories are there, everything. So if you wanted to search any of the repository, you can just use it. And here also, if you wanted to pull request, okay, issues, repositories, everything it is available. Okay. So this is our GitHub repository, right? Now let's me connect it to server. So first thing what we need to do, we need to install the Git, right? And Visual Studio. So I already explained you how to install Visual Studio Code in the previous session, okay? And we are already created the GitHub account also, right? So these three is very mandatory. So as a DevOps engineer, okay, at least you should know how to create the branches, how to commit, how to add, how to push it, how to clone it. These many like minimum 5 to 6 command, it is very mandatory. So later there is a lot of commands, but as a DevOps engineer, this is very mandatory. Okay, let me open browser. So what I'll do, I'll just type it git, right? If I enter, it will take it to the official page. So you need to mention the install for Windows. Just click it and download it 64-bit, right? Standalone. Click it. So it will download it, right? Just run it. If you click this one, it will ask for run. Otherwise, you can able to use Chocolatey to install it. So without this, make it next. It is bore, right? Okay, let me make it uh, additional icons. Just make it next so that it will go on, it will install it. In the meantime, let's go to install the Visual Studio Code. In the meantime, what we can do, let's go back to here. I'm going to show it you how to install the Git on Linux machine also. So by default nowadays, if you create any latest EC2 machine, okay, by default will be there. Let me see it. How do we check it? It Linux server. Okay, I'll just make it launch git bash. So here is the my git bash, right? So I'll just make it maximum. Let me go to option, make the text. You need to just maximize it. Where is it? Okay, terminal, window, selection. Okay, test and font. Just select it, font, make it 18. Okay, just apply and save it. See, are you able to see it? So, how if you're working on the Linux environment, right? So this is going to be support on Windows and Linux both. So right now we are in the administrator, right? Okay, same thing. If you wanted to go back to same back one step, okay, just use it. Same how your Linux command you are using, right? You can able to use it here. Same commands. There is nothing changes. This is like a cross platform for Windows and Linux. So now we have installed the Git, right? Just clear it, type it, Git hyphen version, right? So the latest version we are able to see, right? Git is installed and Git hyphen help. Are you able to see it? Okay. So what all the commands are there in the Git? You will see it, right? One is for start working on the area, right? So clone init and work on the current changes, add, move, restore, and rm, right? So if you come down below, okay, so all the commands are there, right? Examine the history and grow and mark quick collaborations, okay? So all the commands are there, right? So these are all at least you should know, okay? So one is for collaborate, other one is examine the history and work on the current changes. And git init also it is very mandatory, like how we are using a terraform init, right? Same thing here also, okay? So I'm going to show it you very mandatory commands that you should know, okay? So let's clear it. Let's go to downloads. Let's run the Visual Studio Code also. So tomorrow what we can do, how to configure the credential, GitHub credential. And the remaining topic, I'm going to cover it, like uh, creating a repo locally, okay, and how to push to GitHub, okay. So these are all the few topics are there. So one by one, I'll go through it, okay. So let's see that once Visual Studio completed, I'll show it you one more uh, option here. So whenever you are using Visual Studio Code, right? So there is a terminal, right? So if you go to the terminal, just click it. You will see that new terminal, right? So what I can do, so if you're able to see it right now, we are in the PowerShell, right? So if you wanted to required, so I'm not the expert in the PowerShell, right? So if I need power Git, right, then use it here. Okay. Are you able to see it? New terminal window, split terminal, PowerShell, right? And Git bash, right? just switch to git bash. It will switch to your git bash. See, and there is a multiple command line interfaces are there. Okay, that is also can able to use it. For example, if you wanted to command prompt, just switch it. It will go to command prompt. And next, if you want JavaScript, okay, that is also you can able to do it. All are writing the JavaScript. And if you need like a split also, you can able to do it. That is also possible. Okay. So this is all about how we can able to run it in the terminals. All git commands. Okay, here also you can just type it git, right? So it will shows. Let me make it git. Just hit enter. Taking some time. It's not take this much time. Maybe it is nice. Okay, what we can do? Let's use it PowerShell. You'll get to know. Or we can just close and reopen it. If the git is okay, it is saying it is not recognized, right? Let me close it and reopen it. Just type it git. Are you able to see it, right? So clone, init, add, all the commands it will shows. You do it anyone, okay, it will shows it. If there is no git, you will get that error. It is not recognizing, right? So this is all how we can able to install git bash and Visual Studio Code. How do we access it from the command line interface? That is what I showed you, right? So how to do it in the Linux machine, right? So we have created the Linux machine. Let's log into that Linux machine. So while working on the CI/CD tool, okay, Git version should be installed it, right, in the Linux also, because everything we are going to host it on the Linux only, not in the Windows. But as a client, okay, as the user, you should use it only Windows machine. You cannot use it Visual Studio Code in the Linux, right? So that is the reason. Okay, just type it git hyphen hyphen host. By default, it will be installed. Okay, if there is no, then what we can do? Let's install it. So this is our uh, yum, right? Sudo yum install. Sorry, sudo yum update. So it is saying nothing to do it, right? Okay, let's clear it. So let's try to install the. So you need to just use it sudo dnf install git -y. That's it. So now just try to use a command called git version. Are you able to see it? Git is installed, right? Let's clear it. Just type it git. So same commands you are able to see it here also, right? So I'll let me show it you both the way how we can able to configure it in Linux and Windows for the credentials. Okay, how to communicate with your Linux and Windows machine. So that is all for today's session. If you have any questions, let me know.
No, sir.
Yeah. So let's find out for today's session. Let's
Sir,
connect. Yeah.
just an intimation for you. Actually, I need a leave for tomorrow's class.
Okay. So then we'll connect and day before yesterday. Hello. Okay.
Day before tomorrow.
The day before tomorrow is like tomorrow, like Wednesday we'll connect, right?
Yes, sir. Day after.
Yeah, day after tomorrow we'll catch up. Okay, I send the notes, everything. Just go through it. Okay, for the Terraform, let me know anything. Okay.
Sure, and even traditional things.
Yeah, I'm sending. Chalo, bye bye.
Thank you.